What's up guys, Shane from Team COG with you guys again, and today I'm going to actually bring you my first place locals deck profile on my Pendulum Magicians. This one will not include the Supreme King version. I don't necessarily dislike it, I just wanted to see how the deck would run without it. I do think that I will go to a Supreme King one because it's a normal summonable target and it searches a pretty low scale, which you don't really need for anything else. And it's a 7, so you can use it for the overlays. So I don't know, I'm thinking about going with the Supreme King build, but until then, I think I'm gonna go with this build for a while. So let's get right to it. Alright guys, so moving to this deck list, we're going to start with the Pendulum monsters first. So let's get these spells and traps out of the way, as well as the extra deck. So starting off, we're going to have the triple Astrograph Sorcerer. He's just too good of a card. He allows you to put one card on board for free, and he also allows to give you a free search. So he's a really great card. He's also great in the Pendulum scale now because you can actually scale him up and then pop him. So if you end up with 2, he's actually really effective. So for the Pendulum scale effect, you're going to play the Stargazer Magician if you wanted to utilize that ability. So the scale effect says that you can actually pop the Astrograph Sorcerer, and then you can either set and scale the Stargazer or special summon it. So special summoning the Stargazer allows you to get into Electromite really easily, especially if you had another Astrograph or Chronograph in hand. Now, speaking of Chronograph, we've got 3 Chronograph. Chronograph's a really good card to float out from your hand when you use a pop. If you open Astrograph and Chronograph, they're really good, as well as he goes into a really great Xyz that we'll be getting into later. Really hard locks your opponent. Then we got the Time Gazer Magician. Time Gazer Magician's is in for the same reason as the Stargazer Magician, and it's just because Chronograph has the same scale effect where you can pop and special summon or set and scale. So it makes for some really good combos and stuff. Double Oath Dragon. Oath Dragon's a really good card. It gets your resources back from the extra deck, as well as the fact that you can actually summon it out with the Harmonizing Magician in order to get the rank 6 or finish off your rank 6 play. And then Purple Poison Magician. Purple Poison is another great card for the deck. It's a really good consecutive pop. It works really well with battle, and it works really well with the trap. So now we got the 3 Black Fang Magician. Black Fang is one of the best cards. He's your best high scale. He's your high scale you're going to be putting in most. And that's just because without Double Iris, he's really good. He gets your combos off. And if you play the Supreme King, this is another reason why I've been thinking about playing the Supreme King build, is the fact that when you're using the Supreme King build, you're playing Foolish Burial already. And Foolish Burial will be able to put any of your magicians in the graveyard for his effect. Or Dark Spellcasters in general. So you can even send a Chronograph or anything you need. So Foolish Burial is really good now that we don't have Double Iris. Double Iris was going to be a really great combo card. So Black Fang's what we have now, and it's kind of just better to work with what we have. Then we got 3 Harmonizing Magician. Harmonizing is a really great card for the deck. It's literally what keeps the deck running, in my opinion. But its effect is when it's Pendulum summoned, you can special summon a Magician from the deck, and it's sent to the Banished when it's used or when it leaves the field. So you can actually overlay with the card you summoned, and it will just go to the graveyard. It's a really great card. It also summons the Oath Dragon for the rank 6 plays. It's just a really great card in general. Wisdom Eye. Wisdom Eye is just an amazing card. It finishes your scales. It triggers your blast effects. It's too good to not run at 3. Then that's all the magicians. You play a pretty heavy magician count. 3 Abyss Actor Curtain Riser, my bad. He's a really great card when you're going first, and he's also a good card to just normal summon and get it out of the way. So he really just does allow you for setups on your Electromite. Then we got Double Luster Pendulum, the Draco Slayer. Luster's a really great card. I honestly, he's another reason. He was never really good for what I needed him for. So I think the Supreme King is version wouldn't play him. Or if I put in the Supreme Kings, I'd probably cut him for it. And then for hand traps, I've got double Droll and Lock, one Ash Blossom, and Joyous Spring. The only reason I would play 3 Ash Blossom, but I currently only have 1. So that's what I'm working with, and that's what I've got. So that's what I'm doing. Moving on to the spells and traps. I only play 2 traps, so we'll just get them out of the way. Play double Time Pendulum Graph. I still think that it's a really good control, especially with the double iris. If you set it in scale, it's really strong, and it just allows them to have to work around it. So, going on to the spells, triple Duelist Alliance. Duelist Alliance is an amazing search card for the deck. It's without double iris. It's really your only search for the pendulum graphs, and it's also the reason I'm playing Luster. So, moving on, we have Pendulum Call, also searchable by Duelist Alliance. It's just a really great top deck sometimes, and it just really has a strong ability to just out your opponent's back row destruction if they're doing Twin Twister instead of Cyclone. Star Pendulum Graph, I'm only playing 1 of. Star Pendulum Graph's a really great card. It's not as good anymore since it's not as easy to search, but it's still a really strong card to keep you moving, and it's something to search off your Duelist Alliance to keep you for a play extender. I've got double Pot of Desires. Pot of Desires is just a really great card. It's amazing draw power, and it just really helps the deck. Getting any 2 cards in your hand is just really good. And then, of course, since it came off the ban list, you got to play the 1 Monster Reborn. When you Xyz or something with a monster, it just really makes the monster reusable, and it's just really good in that sense. So, moving on to the extra deck, you've got to have the double Heavy Metal Foes Electromite. Electromite is the newest card to this deck, and it's got to be the best. Like, you cannot play this deck as effectively without it. Continuing with the Link monsters, you've got the 1 of Decode Talker. He's a great card. He just allows you for the 3 to move up with your Electromites and just get even more advantage off of your Links. I've got the 1 Underclock Taker because of the current build I'm running. It's easier to link away the 2 Electromite into this and then link up into one of your 3s with the Absolute. Then I'm playing the 1 Zephyr Metaltron. Zephyr Metaltron's an interesting card for me. He's really good because he allows you to have 3 markers pointing down, and he actually does have some pretty decent effects. But I don't know if it's more of a personal choice because I like the 3 markers down. Playing Decode and him together really fog up the extra deck, but I think it's pretty good just because when you're going for the Vortex. So going on to the fusions, you only play 1. You play the Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon, and you can summon him out using the Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. Odd Eyes Absolute, just amazing in this deck because when he's linked away, he can summon out the Vortex, and the Vortex is just amazing because he shuffles away your used Link monsters, and you can negate an opponent's effect. So it's just amazing in that retrospect. Really having a lot of negations, kind of what this deck does now. Speaking of negations, you've got Naruto, the Moral Leader. Naruto is a great you run because you play the Chronograph and the Oath Dragon. Really great card. Tornado Dragon for our rank 4s. We're starting off with Tornado Dragon. Just a really good card. Gets rid of field spells. Gets rid of set back row. Just amazing. Time Star Magician. Really great card. When you need a card that can detach and send already for like Monster Reborn or the Black Fang, he's just a really good card to go into. Baguska, because when you have a brick hand, you can usually make him, and he's just a soft lock for your opponent till you can draw into what you need. 1 Supreme King Dragon, Dark Rebellion. He's an amazing Xyz. is a lightning without the negation. I would love to play lightning in this, but I don't know what I'd cut, just because I'm a huge lightning fan. Then for the synchros, I've got the 1 Psyframe Lord Omega, the Supreme King Dragon Clear Wing. Just an amazing card. It's a Regeki on legs, and it just destroys everything when it battles it. So I was actually dueling a dinosaur player this weekend, and he was about to win, but he decided he was going to attack in with the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno into the Clear Wing, and he didn't have enough life points to survive that effect damage. So that was unfortunate for him, but I actually got a neat ulti decode talker out of it, so I wasn't complaining too much. And then we got 1 Ignis to Prominence, the Blasting Draco Slayer. He's an amazing card. I only ever go into him occasionally, but when you can go into him and you need to go into him, it's amazing that he's there. He's a non-targeting float back to the deck, and it just makes everything so much easier on you. Well, I'm not going to go over my side deck because it's pretty general. I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile, and don't forget to like, subscribe, go ahead and check us out on Twitter, and we will see you in the next video. This has been Shane from Team COG, signing out.